doing lines off this snare drum back here. He was on his hands and knees ready to do them off the bass pedal too, so thank you, Cocaine Bear. Oh, you know, I almost missed my cue. I was off stage over here updating my Grindr profile. And you're probably thinking, Mark, isn't Grindr an app that men use for anonymous gay hookups? And to you, I say, mind your fucking business, okay? What happens in a Waffle House bathroom between me, a complete stranger, and the dog he brings with him is none of your damn business. Although I must admit, I thought the dog would be more involved, you know, hump a leg or bark calm a chameleon or something like that. Come on, puppy. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. But I'm kind of excited. My daughter is 14 and she finally got to meet my grandmother. She got to meet her great-grandmother. And it's been kind of awkward because, you know, flights can be expensive, long car drives, but all it took for her to finally meet my grandmother was a Ouija board and an open mind. That's all it took, folks. Coincidentally, I found out my house is hella haunted, too. Grandma is not happy in the afterlife. There's no Ben Gay in the afterlife. There's no Wheel of Fortune in the afterlife. There's no ribbon candy in the afterlife. Grandma is pissed, okay? But don't knock the Ouija board because I get better reception with that than I do when I was using T-Mobile. So don't knock the Ouija board, folks. Now, some of you are looking at me like you've never seen a tall person before. And up here under these lights, I feel like a Big Mac under a heat lamp, quite frankly. But I gotta tell you, life is not what it's meant to be. There are certain things. I'm 6'7". I'm 6'10" in heels. Oh, I said the soft part out loud. My drag name is Sticky Giraffe, okay, when I'm in P-Town. You know, there are beds that are too short for me. There's some cars I can't drive. And I even have to get down on one knee to look hookers in the eye while I'm negotiating with them. So it's a very personal, Danny knows what I mean. He's paid some women to knock his junk around. He knows what I'm talking about. It's a very personal interaction. But I have realized over the years that height is a physical characteristic where it's perfectly okay in society to gawk at it. Wow, you are really tall, or wow, you're really short. I get this all the time. You must have a hard time finding clothes that fit. Did you play basketball? Does height run in your family? Etc., etc. We can't do this to other body types. Wow, you are really fat. You must have a hard time finding clothes that fit. Are you a sumo wrestler? Does obesity run in your family? When you go to a new website, do you get excited when it asks you to accept cookies? Come on. Okay, but speaking of bodies, body types, I'm all for the body positivity. Love who you are, but I think it's gone a little bit out of control, people. Late last year, there was a movement in this body positivity for the plus-size people. There was a group who was lobbying to have hotels widen their hallways to better accommodate them. How fat are you? There's I should eat better fat, there's I should exercise more fat, then there's you need to reconsider your architectural strategy fat. Maybe if you were asking for a hotel to widen its hallways, that's not your worst problem. Maybe getting your fat ass out of your house is your first problem, and worrying how big your coffin is going to have to be to accommodate your bloated ass when they find your corpse with a Happy Meal lodged in your throat. Sorry, I went a little off the edge there. But, again, body positivity. Business idea. Stripper clubs that feature plus-size strippers. Could call it stretch marks, or diabetes, or Golden Corral. No, that's taken. Hey, I'm actually also happy, it's not just the OxyContin talking right now, I'm happy about other things, okay? I found out why the first episode of a television show was called a pilot. Does anybody know? It's called a pilot because it's the first time it's on the air, like an airplane. Isn't that adorable? Given this information, I propose that when the last episode of a series airs, we call it Malaysian Flight 370. Thank you. It's been 10 years, but thank you. I think it's been long enough, we can joke about that now. Next up, we'll make fun of the Crusades and the flu pandemic of 1918, because it's been long enough for those as well. Okay, I got some complaints about these hygiene commercials, people. Have you seen this Lumi commercial where they're talking about this lotion for pits, privates, and more? I don't know what the more is, but this is this woman doctor who invented it, right? If you pay attention to the commercial, they say, without Lumi, a shower alone, without Lumi, after 12 hours, the average crotch starts to have odor again. Who's at Lumi sniffing crotches to determine what is or is not average? You could have anywhere from a bouquet of flowers to a Tijuana dumpster. What's going on here? Who's plotting this data? You know who should have that job is retired police dogs. They have the nose for it, and if they're sniffing the crotch, the leg is right there. If they have any Mississippi leg hound, they can have that as a fringe benefit right there. So, okay, one more thing, okay? Ladies, your feminine hygiene product commercials are getting out of control. If you're surfing Crimson Tide, I don't need to know the details, okay? There is now a commercial out there, I think it's for Always. It talks about menstrual gushing. Has anybody seen this commercial? If you have, yes, right? I'm not making this shit up. And I'm surprised I remember it because my mind wanted to repress it and never remember it. That's TMI, isn't it? Yeah, we have an agreement. We have an agreement, ladies. You keep your menstrual information at a very high level, and we never shine a black light anywhere in the apartment to let you know where we've thrown a rope, okay? All right, my name's Mark Dysinger. Cocaine Bear's gonna drag me off the stage. Thank you, everybody.
All right, Mark Dysinger, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, how you doing? All right, you know what? He reminded me of the Ouija board, man. I got a Ouija board coffee table. I put my mug of coffee on there. It told me to use a fucking coaster. Damn, man. Also, I am working on a new transportation service for prostitutes. I'm calling it Hordash. For an extra couple of bucks, the prostitute will have the sandwich ready when you're done. I was going to go with Uber Whore, but my ex-wife already has that title. All right, coming up next, we have the Empress here.